In the world of cinema, there are characters we love and others who simply deserve their end. Their fates grab us, shock us, and sometimes they give us that satisfaction only cinema can deliver. From ruthless villains to fallen anti-heroes, each death tells a story, revenge, an unexpected twist, a moment etched into the audience's memory. Get ready for the most epic, shocking, and undeniably satisfying finales. This is the top most satisfying deaths in movies. In Jurassic Park, Dennis Nedry isn't a classic villain, but his greed unleashes disaster. For money, he shuts down the park's security, betrays his team, and leaves the island defenseless against the dinosaurs. While everyone else fights to survive, Nedry only wants to escape with the stolen embryos. The storm hits, the wind howls, the jungle feels alive. Nedry runs through the trees, slips in the mud, and loses the famous can where he hid the embryos. Everything feels like punishment. Then, a Dilophosaurus appears. Small, almost adorable. Nedry relaxes, and that's when fate strikes. The dinosaur spreads its colorful frill, spits venom straight into his eyes. Blind and terrified, Nedry stumbles back to the jeep, calling for help, but the predator is already inside. A roar. The door slams. Screams drowned by thunder, and the jungle returns to silence. His death is satisfying because it's pure justice. The man who caused chaos, who thought only of himself, is devoured by the very creatures he set free. In that moment, the audience doesn't feel pity, it feels balance. The island takes back what was its own. In IT Chapter 2, Pennywise has terrorized Derry for nearly 3 decades. He's manipulated, hunted, and fed on fear. But now, the Losers Club returns to finish what began in their childhood. Deep beneath the town, inside the ancient tunnels, Pennywise reveals his most monstrous form, a colossal fusion of clown and nightmare. The air shakes with terror, but this time, the losers stand their ground. Pennywise tries everything. Illusions, voices, memories, each one designed to break them. But the losers finally understand the truth. His power only exists if they believe he's unstoppable. One by one, they push back against the fear. They confront their trauma, their guilt, their nightmares. And with every step forward, Pennywise begins to shrink. The towering demon becomes a desperate creature, then just a clown, and finally, something small, weak, almost pitiful. Cornered and powerless, Pennywise trembles, reduced to nothing more than a dying heartbeat in their hands. A final whimper escapes him before he collapses into dust. His death is deeply satisfying because they don't defeat him with strength. They defeat him with truth. He only had power when they were afraid. When fear dies, Pennywise dies with it. In Iron Man 2, Whiplash is driven by rage and vengeance. He wants to destroy Tony Stark's legacy and prove that hate and wires can beat a hero in armor. At the Stark Expo, he arrives in a massive battlesuit, wielding electric whips strong enough to tear through metal. Tony and Rhodey fight side by side, but Whiplash pushes them hard, convinced he's already won. That's his weakness. He trusts his anger more than his strategy. The two heroes execute a perfect synchronized blast, shattering Whiplash's armor and leaving him defeated. In a final act of spite, he arms the drone explosives and says, "You lose." Tony saves Pepper just in time, while Whiplash is consumed by his own trap. A satisfying end for a villain destroyed by the obsession he never let go. For years, Voldemort was the shadow that darkened the wizarding world. The most feared sorcerer, the self-proclaimed master of death, convinced no one could ever stop him. But in Deathly Hallows, his reign finally reaches its end. As Hogwarts burns, Harry learns the truth. He is the final Horcrux, and knowing he might die, he walks into the Forbidden Forest, willing to sacrifice himself. That act of pure courage shatters Voldemort's power. In the final battle, with every Horcrux destroyed, Voldemort is no longer a dark god, just a desperate wizard clinging to fading magic. Each spell he casts grows weaker, each scream more frantic. Harry stands against him, surrounded by allies, and for the first time, Voldemort feels fear. The Elder Wand, the wand he believed unbeatable, was never loyal to him. That final betrayal seals his fate. Harry's Expelliarmus collides with Voldemort's Avada Kedavra, and the deadly curse rebounds upon its master. The sorcerer who sought immortality crumbles into nothing, dust scattered in the wind. His death is deeply satisfying because it's pure justice. The love he mocked, the humanity he despised, is exactly what defeats him. And the boy destined to die is the one who lives to witness his fall. In Mad Max, Fury Road, Immortan Joe is more than a tyrant. He is the embodiment of absolute control over life and death in the wasteland. For years, he enslaved his followers, hoarded water as a weapon, and ruled with fear and excess. But Furiosa and Max crash into his convoy, freeing the wives and challenging his authority. Joe clings to his power, driving frantically, desperate to keep his kingdom on wheels. The final battle is chaotic. Engines roar. Explosions light the sky. Dust swirls everywhere. Max and Furiosa corner him, and for the first time, Joe faces his fate powerless. In poetic irony, the massive structure of his own rig crushes him. The tyrant who controlled everyone's life is reduced to a mortal man, defeated by his own ambition. His death is satisfying because it is pure justice. the man who toyed with life and hope is destroyed by the very world he sought to dominate. As Max and Furiosa emerge from the dust, Immortan Joe's reign of terror ends forever. In Gladiator, Commodus embodies corruption and unchecked ambition. He murdered his own father, manipulated the Senate, and betrayed Rome to crown himself emperor. His power seemed absolute, his reign untouchable. But Maximus, the betrayed general, returns for vengeance. In the Colosseum, before thousands of spectators, the final duel begins. Commodus tries to use cunning and strength, but his fear, ego, and hatred betray him. Maximus confronts him with courage and precision. Every strike exposes the fragility behind the tyrant's mask. Finally, Commodus falls, defeated and humiliated, before the crowd that once idolized him. His death is satisfying because it represents justice. The man who betrayed his family and abused his power is overcome by the honor and strength of the one he underestimated. Rome regains, at least briefly, its balance as the tyrant vanishes into the sand forever.